Hello YouTube. Today I have another review for you. This is pretty much my favorite firearm in my collection. This is my Kimber Custom Tactical Law Enforcement / Rail 2. And basically, let me go ahead and safety check it. See, there's nothing in there. Now with this Kimber, I've had this now for probably about, I'd say 6-8 months, and so far it's been a great piece. It's almost like it was made for me. Reason I say that is because whenever I shoot this, I never have any malfunction whatsoever. However, in everybody else's hands, except for one of my friends, I've probably let 10 people shoot this piece so far, and in everybody else's hands, except for maybe 1 or 2 other people, something has happened. Either a failure to feed, a failure to eject, or you're holding on to it, you shoot it, and then the slide locks back on you. But for me, and I think 2 other people, it's been perfect. And I've shot maybe about 2,000 rounds through it so far, and I've never ever had a problem with it. However, the first, I'd say within 10 shots, everybody else that I've let fire this piece does have some kind of a failure. That could be the ammo. Generally, you know, when I'm shooting through here, I don't shoot the best ammo because 45 ammo is a little bit more expensive, obviously, than 9mm than you would expect. This is just it's a great piece. I love it. I really can't say too much more about it. I hate to point it at me, but you saw that there was nothing in there. There's the Kimber logo. Now I'll point out some of the features on this piece. Let me point it away from me. This has rubber grips, which are actually the cheapest grips, but when I was looking at 1911s, I was actually going to buy Springfield Armory. I think they call it their loaded model, and I held on to that, and I was like, oh, this isn't bad. I think more than likely this is probably what I'll end up with. And then I looked around to see what else they had. They had some Colts there. They had some Smith & Wessons there. I'm talking about Shoot Straight. I think in Apopka, they have a few locations in kind of central Florida. I'll give a shout out to them because they're great. I mean, they have great prices. You can check them out on their website. I think it's shootstraightonline.com. Don't quote me on that. I'll find it and I'll put it down in the description. They have great prices right up front, and they still work with you. I believe I pulled up the specs on this gun so I wouldn't misquote any of the information on it. On Kimber's website, they list this for $11.39 even, and I believe I bought it for $9.49. Quote me on that, because I was trading in some guns at the same time, but I think the final outcome was that I paid $9.49 for this one. And let me go ahead and go back going over the specs. Rubber grips, I do like this over wooden grips. Actually, no, I can't say that. I like a lot of grips, but I think these, for me, they work for me a little bit better. But back to when I bought this, I had a 1911 Springfield Armory picked out, and it was the all black or blued model. I wouldn't say it was blued because it was more black like this. This is more like almost like how a Glock would be, only a little bit more matte. So it's not like a blued finish. I have another 1911 that I'll do a review on that is blued, and I'll compare them so you can see the difference. I had the Springfield Armory picked out, and then I wanted to just look around a little bit more, and I saw this one. I was like, let me just see that real quick. So then I put it in my hand, and it was almost just like an instant, just like when you see somebody, like let's say if you're a guy and you see a man or a woman and you're like, wow, that person's like love at first sight, they're my soulmate, they're the person I'm meant to be with. That's how it was for me in this pistol right here. The moment I held it in my hand, I was just like, okay, it's a good thing I'm left-handed because I'm gonna have to fill out all the paperwork on my left hand because this isn't coming out of my right. That's basically how I felt about this piece. It just felt so great. The weight was perfect. The grips, I think, are just like, they're almost like sticky. And then you have front strap checkering is what Kimber calls it on their website. This is here, and also the mainspring housing has it too, but a lot of mainspring housings have that, so that's not uncommon. Like, they didn't have to do any work to get that done. They just slapped that in there. It came that way. The front does take a little bit of work, and I'll show that in there. I got a little bit scratched up because I wear a titanium wedding band, and that kind of just gets in there and gets all kinds of shit in there. Some other things, front checkering, the back checkering, but that's on the mainspring housing. The rubber grips I like. The aluminum match grade trigger also has full length guide rod. I'll go ahead and I'll pull that back. That's right here, full length guide rod. And you can generally tell those right away when you're looking at a 1911 by this recoil spring plug. Barrel is also match grade steel. The bushing, this bushing right here is also match grade. This is a 5-inch length barrel, stainless steel slide covered with this black coating. You have front serrations, rear serrations, Meprolite night sights, which are smoothed off. You can see that right on there. I mean, that's very nice. I love that. Skeletonized hammer, extended beaver tail right here. And a lot of 1911s, this just kind of stops here, and that's just when you get in there and the slide comes back, you won't get that beaver bite or hammer bite. Again, stainless steel here. You have to be really careful when you're field stripping this piece, because I made this mistake, so don't laugh at me too much. When you have a little tool that comes in and pushes this down, and then you slide your bushing over, and then this pops out, this little recoil spring plug, and that just straight out came out and hit me right in the cheek. I literally thought I had a hole in my cheek when that hat was so tight in there. You also have the tactical rail. I like that. This is a Picatinny rail on here. You don't have ambi safety, but that's okay. I mainly shoot actually I shoot left and right-handed, but I can hit that from the left, so it's not a big deal when it's back. But I generally don't carry one in the chamber. I just kind of, I've seen and heard of too many people with 1911s shooting themselves, and you can go right on YouTube and you can check some people out where they're showing you instructional videos and they'll shoot themselves in the leg, or you know, kind of shoot it prematurely to where they were wanting to for the bullets to go. I don't want to be that person ever with any firearm. So some people might say, hey, look, you know, you need to carry in condition 0 or whatever it is. I kind of feel like just by flashing a gun, I mean, no one knows what's going to happen. I hope I never have to be in a situation where I have to show this to someone, or I have to shoot someone, or I have to protect my family or anything like that. I don't want to be in that situation. I do have firearms partly for that. I have firearms more because I think of it as a sport. I like going to the shooting range. I like hanging out with those people. They're all good friends of mine, and we just all have a good time shooting, talking about guns, and it's just a great hobby, sport, everything. On this piece, let me go ahead and field strip it for you. I don't have my tool with me, so I'll have to use like the edge of my desk or something. So, all right. Who says you need that tool? I did it right with the end of mine. All right. So basically, you let that out, and then you pull the trigger back. You'll have this little bit right in here, slide stop lever, and then that little bit right there is where it's going to, this piece is going to go up and pull out. All right, here we go, and that's it. Here it goes. And then to get this out the rest of the way, you kind of bring this back. Little spring comes out, guide rod comes out, and then this isn't coming out from here, so don't think it's a Glock or anything like that. You have to flip this bushing over the other way, pull it out, and then the barrel comes right out the front of the slide. So this is all match grade, and if you go online, you do a little bit of research on what match grade is. Basically, it just makes it to where you have tighter tolerances, and that's good and bad. It's good because your gun should shoot with better accuracy or more accuracy. That might cause you to have misfires and other problems when you're shooting. So that's the bad part, but you're paying more for this firearm over a mil-spec 1911 because everything is built to tighter tolerances, because they use better parts, and you know, the list goes on. So Kimber by no means is the highest in the 1911s. You know, you have your Nighthawks, you have your Ed Browns, you have your Dan Wesson is also another one that's up there. There's just a bunch that are in the higher end. I don't feel I need to spend that much on a firearm. Plus, let's say I get ambushed and people get me from the back, from the front, from the sides, and whatever, and they're robbing me. I don't want them to take a really nice firearm away from me. And that's mainly the reason why I carry Glocks, because I don't mind losing one of those. Somebody robs me, they manage to get the upper hand on me or whatever, and they take a firearm from me. I'd rather it be a Glock than even this Kimber or something of more value. Now back to this. Everything is, again, stainless steel coated with this black matte finish. and it's still pretty heavy. I mean, this right here probably weighs more than a, like, let's say a Ruger LCP, or something that's small like that. I didn't mean for that to slam. That's basically what it looks like in here. I mean, that's clean. If you look in there, I mean, there's, and that's after me shooting it a bunch. That's how clean that is in there. And then on the inside of the slide, I mean, it's probably, I need to oil it again. Damn, it's not looking as good as the last time I cleaned it. Looks like in there. That's what it looks like back there. Alright, now let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Let's hope I don't shoot myself in the face. Not with a bullet, but with this little guy. That's the little guy you need to watch out for when you're taking any firearm that has a full length, or any 1911 that has a full length guide rod in place. Watch out for that bushing when you're field stripping it. You don't want that guy to hit you or hit somebody in the face. I wear glasses, so luckily if it would have hit me in the glasses, I'd have been fine. I'd just had to buy another pair. Go ahead and get this baby back together. Again, slide first. Once that's in there, you could do this first, actually. Well, you could do it in really whatever order you want. Okay, now that we have it back together, again, this was my Kimber 1911 law enforcement rail custom 2, and so far it's just been a firearm for me. I mean, I haven't had, me personally, I haven't had any problems with this. Maybe some other people have, but I have not. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, you know, rate, tell me what you think, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later.